Welcome to the WHHI TV Daily News. It's a beautiful day in the Lowcountry. I'm Betsy McDaniel, and here are today's headlines. A simple one-page filing released in Colleton County Court has given us a glimpse as to what Alex Murdaugh will claim is his alibi for the time his wife and son were killed. Through his lawyers, Murdaugh says Paul and Maggie were both still alive when he left the family's Moselle estate to visit his ailing mother in Varnville a few minutes after 9 p.m. on the night of the murders, and therefore could not have killed them. He further claims that he had cell phone conversations with a number of people on his way to his mother's, including his other son Buster, his brother John Marvin, and his wife, and a fellow lawyer. He says he was with his mother and her nurse's aide until about 9:45 p.m. Prosecutors say Maggie and Paul Murdaugh were killed between 8:30 and 10:06, the time Murdaugh discovered the bodies. We'll find out how that alibi holds up in court when his trial begins in January. The new medical examiner's autopsy unit has been busier than one might have hoped lately, including now trying to identify skeletal remains found by the police earlier this week at the Victoria Bluff Heritage Preserve in Bluffton. The Beaufort County Sheriff's Office would not confirm how long the body had been in the nature preserve or even the sex or race of the remains. There has been at least one suicide in the nature preserve in the last year or so, and police are still investigating a couple of area residents believed missing long enough to possibly be the victim. We will celebrate Thanksgiving next Thursday, but this weekend officially kicks off the holiday season in the Lowcountry. The town of Hilton Head is hosting children of all ages at the Art Center of Coastal Carolina Saturday the 19th from 3 to 5 p.m. with Santa and Mrs. Claus making an appearance, as well as a handful of performing groups, including the cast of A Christmas Story. There will also be arts and crafts and food trucks. You can get a full schedule of events for the entire holiday season on the town's website. The first citizen review meetings on the 97 books pulled from the school district's libraries are underway. The volunteers will first review 4 popular but controversial books: The Handmaid's Tale, The Perks of Being a Wallflower, Speak, and The Kite Runner. Those books are used in some high school advanced placement courses. Members will read the books, then meet again to decide what to do with them next. More than 100 community members, parents, educators, and administrators expressed interest in serving on the committee, and members were chosen at random from each of those groups. When it comes to keeping schools and the students safe, it is always better to be safe than sorry. To that end, the Hilton Head School Complex was put on a modified lockdown late Thursday morning after gunshots were heard in the neighborhood. Turns out the gunfire came from Gumtree Road, and the lockdown was lifted after about an hour. Deputies searched the area but did not find any shell casings or, in fact, any evidence of gunfire. And if you have been to Beaufort Memorial Hospital recently or have a procedure planned soon, it might be reassuring to know that the national nonprofit watchdog, the Leapfrog Group, has raised the hospital's patient safety grade from a B to an A. Leapfrog rates nearly 3,000 hospitals based on how well they protect patients from preventable medical errors, accidents, injuries, and infections. Hilton Head Hospital and Coastal Carolina Hospital declined to participate in the study. You can find out more at hospitalsafetygrade.org. The media sources on your screen will have more on these and other stories, and we would love for you to like us on Facebook and follow us on Instagram at WHHI TV. And if you have an idea for a news story, we'd love to hear it, so drop us a line at news@WHHITV.com. And now here's Justin Jarrett with what happened last night in the Loco.
Hey, it's time for Last Night in the Loco on WHHI, powered by LocoSports.com. And today we're going to check in on some former Loco standouts who are doing big things around the state and around the world. We'll start up in Gaffney, where former Bluffton Bobcats standout Luke Bond was one of a record 13 Limestone Saints football players named to the All-South Atlantic Conference team and one of 4 Saints to earn first-team honors. Bond is part of an excellent offensive line that paved the way for Limestone's first 1,000-yard back in program history in Trey Stewart. Bond and the Saints opened the D2 playoffs at West Florida on Saturday. Jumping over to Spartanburg, former HHCA Eagle and Hilton Head Seahawk Addie O'Grady earned a spot on the league's all-freshman team after a stellar debut campaign in which she racked up 82 blocks and 141 kills in 25 matches, and she was one of only 3 Big South players to average at least 1 block per set. Finally, let's jet to Munich, where a couple kids from the Loco went toe-to-toe in the first NFL regular season game played in Germany. That's right, the Loco was repped on both sides, with Seattle Seahawks defensive tackle Poona Ford and Tampa Bay Buccaneers DB Dee Delaney, who found each other for a jersey swap after the game. You'll love to see it. We'll bring the focus back closer to home Monday with Loco Lights, rounding up the highlights from 4 big high school football playoff showdowns this weekend. For Loco Sports and WHHI, I'm Justin Jarrett. Until next time, go Loco.
Thanks, Justin. Now let's take a look at the weather with Maria.
Thanks, Betsy. Yep, taking a look ahead, it looks like we're going to have good weather this weekend, but it is going to be a little on the chilly side. Saturday is going to be mostly sunny. We are going to see a passing shower in the evening. Hilton Head's going to have a high of 60, a low of 40. Bluffton's going to have a high of 60 and a low of 36. And Beaufort's going to have a high of 60 and a low of 37. Come Sunday, it's going to be cloudy and chilly, with Hilton Head having a high of 54, a low of 46. Bluffton's going to have a high of 55 and a low of 43. And Beaufort's going to have a high of 55 and a low of 43. The sunrise for this weekend is going to be at 6:55 and sunset's going to be at 5:21. Taking a look at beach tides, Saturday low tide's going to be at 11:39 a.m. and high tide's going to be at 4:22 p.m. And then come Sunday, low tide's going to be at 12:28 p.m. and high tide's going to be at 5:16 p.m. Taking a look into next week, it looks like we're still going to be pretty chilly. It's going to be on the cloudy side. Monday, cloudy with highs in the 60s, lows in the 40s. Tuesday is going to be cloudy and breezy with highs in the 60s and lows in the 50s. And then come Wednesday, it's going to be cloudy with highs in the 60s and lows in the 50s. That's it for today. Let's head back to the desk.
Thanks, Maria, and we'll be back in just a moment with all kinds of fun things coming out of the fire department for the holidays.